Are you or a loved one disabled? Do you feel alone, lost, and confused as to how to win your Social Security case? If you're watching this video, it's probably because you have so many questions and you're desperately looking for the answers. Hi, my name is Avi Leibovic, and I'm the owner at Benefits for All and the lead attorney at Avi Leibovic Associates. Over the course of my 20-year career, I've overseen the processing and screening of over 500,000 disability cases, working with the largest hospitals, neighborhood clinics, primary care physicians, and even individuals who had no access to care at all. My strategies for how to win the case have made me one of the top experts in Social Security law in the entire nation. My life and my career were going great. And then one day it all came crashing down. It started first with some abdominal pains. And before I knew it, I'd been admitted to the hospital several times and I required multiple surgeries. I found myself unable to work and disabled and in desperate need of my own benefits. I understand exactly how you feel. I was in your shoes. And I'm going to take you through the process and help you and give you everything that I know so that you can win your case. I'm recovered and I'm back at work. And I have a newfound passion for helping disabled people because I myself have been there too. Call our office today for a free screening and to see how we can help you with your Social Security case. At the same time, enjoy these videos and webinars that we've prepared to help you understand how to win your Social Security case. Hey everyone, this is Avi Leibovic and you're watching another amazing video from Benefits for All, where we teach you how to win your Social Security disability case without having to pay the cost of an expensive attorney. I'm standing here in the famous downtown Fremont Street in Las Vegas, Nevada. As you can see, it's an unbelievable place to come visit. There's music, there's food, there's live music, there's gambling. You can have some arts and crafts. You can have your picture possibly with even someone who's dressed up as some type of character from your favorite television show. You have to come check it out. It's an amazing place. I figured we'd go ahead over here and we would talk about one of the forms today, and that form is the SSA27. The 827 form is a very important form. It's one of the forms that you're going to fill out several times during the course of your eligibility and appeals process. Whether you're filing an initial application, whether you're filing a request for reconsideration, or whether you're filing a request for a hearing, you're going to need to fill out the SSA 827, which is, again, it's officially titled Authorization to Disclose Information to the Social Security Administration. Now, why is this form important? This form is very important because part and parcel of making your decision is that SSA, both DDS and the district offices, as well as the ODARs, they're not just going to go ahead and take a look at the words that you wrote into your applications on your paperwork. They're also, as we've spoken about many, many times, they're going to request your medical records from all your medical providers, whether it's a primary care physician, whether it's a clinic, whether it's a psychiatrist, whether it's a specialist in a certain area, whether it's a hospital. The SSA 827 is the form that you have to sign, which gives authorization of the Social Security Administration to request those medical records from that medical provider, from that treating source, so that they can review it. If you don't go ahead, and if you don't fill out this form, and if you don't give SSA the authorization to request the medical records, you are the one who's going to be stuck having to go ahead and request all your medical records. Now, it's important to realize that even though the 827 will be signed for the initial application and the recon and the hearing, the reality is that when it comes to the hearing before an administrative law judge, the onus is on you to really go ahead and request the medical records and provide them. At the application level and at the reconsideration level, you can go ahead and you can figure out the 827, and then the Social Security Administration will request those medical records from you. But when it comes to the hearing, it's all on you to go ahead and to provide those medical records. So you better make sure that you need to do it. So let's take a close look at the 827. I'm using my phone here as opposed to holding an actual form. I want to be exact. Obviously, it's going to ask you to go ahead and it's going to ask you to state whether or not the signature is for a guardian, for a parent of a minor, or if it's a personal representative. You're going to want to sign the individual who's signing it, unless, again, like I said, it's a minor. You need a date, you need a good phone number for them to reach you, or again, a good phone number where they can reach an emergency contact, as well as, very important, an updated address. Many times it's very possible that the address that you gave for the initial application is not the same address that you're now residing at for the request for reconsideration. Remember, the application can take anywhere from 6 to 8 to 9 months, depending on how quickly you participate and cooperate with the district office and with DDS. But even after the 6 or 9 months, when you go ahead and then you have 60 days to request the reconsideration, you're going to want to go ahead and you're going to want to make sure that you updated your medical, not just your medical doctors, but you want to make sure that you updated your address. Why? Because you may have moved from the application. In addition to going ahead, you're going to need a witness. Try to get someone who is there, preferably not a family member, who can be a witness and they need to sign it. And basically, once you go ahead and you provide not just your information or the witness's information, hopefully that will be enough to go ahead and effectuate the processing of the 827, which will give Social Security Administration the opportunity to go and request your medical records. For some private practitioners, in addition to the 827, you might find that there's an attorney who asks you to sign what they call a HIPAA release form. HIPAA is the Health Insurance Portability Accountability Act. The HIPAA laws came in effect with last maybe about 10, 15 years or so, and as a result of this act, there's an extra emphasis on protecting private health information and personal health information, whether it's your Social Security number, whether it's any type of identifying qualifier for you and to identify your address, your Social Security number, your name, your date of birth, your medical record, a diagnosis. There's a whole list of what they call identifiers, which would go ahead and would possibly tag you and not let a medical provider release that medical records. So the attorneys will not only have you sign an 827, but they may actually have you also sign a HIPAA release form. I'm going to go ahead, because I like you so much, and I'm going to include a HIPAA release form so you can sign it and you can submit it together with the 827. Because if you're requesting your medical records from your hospitals and from your doctors, there are some medical records, and this is very important for you to understand, medical records like dealing with mental health are not going to be released easily. Medical records dealing with minors are not going to be released easily. And any medical records dealing with sexual infectious diseases are not going to be released easily. In addition to the 827, they may want to require and ask you for a HIPAA release form together. That's a man-made one. It's not offered up by Social Security as a form. And again, I will provide that HIPAA form on the side. You can go ahead and look at it. Now, once again, I encourage you all to come down to Fremont Street. I encourage you all to come down to check out how beautiful it is over here and check out the culture and everything. Bring your cameras, bring your money, and certainly bring your family, your friends. You're going to have a terrific time. The last thing I want to say again, as I've always said, is I'm not saying that you don't need an attorney to help with your disability case. You're perfectly capable of winning it on your own and doing it on your own. But if you feel that perhaps you started the process and you downloaded all the webinars and you began watching the webinars and learning and understanding what you need to do to win your case, you may still find that physically you're not up to it. Maybe you're fatigued, maybe you have shortness of breath. You may find that mentally it's too overwhelming for you. So if you decide that you still, even though you know about the process, you still want an attorney to come in, I encourage you to call me, Avi Leibovic, or to call WWW Benefits for All and check out the free screening that we're going to give to determine whether or not you have what we're looking for in order to help and represent you. We certainly don't want to mislead anyone. We certainly don't want to tell someone they have a good case when they have a bad case. I'm not the type of attorney who goes ahead and files claims hoping that something will get approved. If I think they have a good case, I'm going to tell you straight you have a good case. If I think they have a bad case, I'm going to say, listen, this case is not weak, is not strong enough. There are some gaps, there's some weaknesses, and I think that you need to go ahead and you need to perhaps bolster up the medical records if that's what the issue is. Anyways, check out the other webinars, especially the ones that have to do with all the forms. Those are essential for working the case yourself. If you don't know how to fill out the forms, you're going to have a very difficult time. Until we have a chance to meet again in our next webinar. Again, my name is Avi Leibovic, WWW Benefits for All. I hope you feel great, and you can do it. All right, I'm going to teach you how to win your Social Security case without having to pay the cost of an expensive attorney. All the best. Feel well.